Oh, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Customising Live. I'm Craig Warrack. Thank you for those joining me live. I'll have a chat with you in a moment. If you're catching up with me later, welcome to you as well. I am Craig Warrack and I'm going to be customising action figures today. I am a lifelong collector and connoisseur of action figures with a passion for customising. You can see many of my customs behind me. Big old, oh, he's over here, big old Venom style Galactus over there, various other things going on. Of course, there's the man himself, Bowser. But I'm working on, as you can see up here, I need to get my left and right sorted out. This is Ridley from Metroid that I've been working on, and as you'll see from the video title, he's being joined by his boss, I'm guessing, Mother Brain. So yeah, I'm going to be working on them. Hope you have fun. If you have a cup of tea or you have some unfinished customs, why not get them out and give them a go while I do much the same. Waiting on my husband to bring me a cup of tea. Usually does it at 3 o'clock, but he's playing Final Fantasy, so he's running behind time. It's not good enough, it's not good enough. Divorce is on the cards. Right, let's see who's in the live chat. Oh, I've got some people in here. Thank you very much, as I said, for joining me. That's the thumbs up sign. Hit the thumbs up, and thumbs up if you like the shine that this overhead light gives off. The nice bloom that it gives off my slap heat. Thumbs up. We've got Imran. Oh God, it's me and people's names. Imran Diolo. Oh, hello. We've got Dijon MK. Hey Dijon, nice to have you here. Vince Canetti, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're all keeping well. It's a beautiful day here in Scotland, which is why I've closed the curtains and I've come inside to play with toys. Lifelong habit. Okay, so let's catch up. Where were we with Ridley? Let's find out. Okay, so the last time I was doing one of these live streams, which was, I think, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I took a break. I did an Iron Man review, then a Nova review, and then I was on a podcast, the Toy Amigos podcast. Had a lot of fun there, so I didn't do a Customising Live because I'm an old man and can only do so much. I was painting Ridley previously, and I was trying out, I got the purple colour down, and then I was trying out various metallics on him to see how I could get a nice sort of effect with him. But to be honest, I didn't really like it, and it kind of put me off working on him for a while. I kind of had a bit of a creative burnout, and I was just like, it's not working for me. I'm going to step away and catch my breath, see where I want to go. But I came back to it today, and I've sort of redone the paint. Not huge amount, but I took away the metallics. I sprayed back over that with flat colours, and I put the flat purple back on, and then I used this it's called Screamer Pink. I've used that just on the highlights. So he's has a sort of a reddish purple on top, and then I think for very high highlights I'm going to go back in with this pink horror colour from Citadel Games Workshop paints, and see if I can just bring out the detail that's in the sculpt. But I'm much happier with the paint now than I was previously. And I have gone ahead and I've, with a brush, today I've this was, I had left, doing the arms that are attached to the wings is difficult. I would normally like airbrush everything, but because of the material here, like I need to be careful. If I like make a mistake and hit the material with an airbrush in a way that I don't intend, that's it, it's done. It's there forever. you can't wipe it off or anything. So I'm being careful. I am going to airbrush these wings eventually so that they have like tone. There's not going to be any great patterns or anything, I'm thinking. I can't be, I've thought about it for months and not come up with anything. But yeah, I just want to, blend in the wings a bit better. There's some schmutz going all over them. I want to hide that. Maybe do some vein details. But I went along, all the arms with the black primer on my brush, which isn't the ideal way to prime something, but hey, it's kind of what I had to do. So we've got all that going on. It's coming together a bit more. This is something that I'm going to try and be doing off camera because it's just it's slow going, there's a big balance. When I'm on camera, I feel I have to show something, and I tend to rush through things. I tend to make poor decisions when I'm on camera, so that's why in between episodes of this, I often go back and go, actually, I didn't like what I did there, so I went back and redid it. So if this turns out terrible, it's likely because you guys made me ruin it. There we go. So that's where we're up to. I may do some of that pink horror highlight, but I may do that on stream. I haven't quite decided what I'm doing today, but we'll see what happens. But I do want to show you the other part of this project that I've been working on, which has really been, it's almost been holding up the project. I've been kind of slowing Ridley down a lot because I want Mother Brain to be ready at the same time. I want them to both sort of be together, and Mother Brain is of course the main bad guy. She's the final boss, whether she's the main bad guy or whether it's a she or an it. It's the final boss of a few Metroid games, and Ridley is, although he is the captain of the space pirates, the enemies, Mother Brain tends to be the final boss, whether it's like a supercomputer and commands Ridley or whether it's something else, is always a bit, I'm never too sure. I like the idea that Ridley he's this dragon thing, but maybe he's not that smart, so he needs Mother Brain, like an external brain, to tell him how to make things better. That's kind of my idea for it. So we'll look at Mother Brain. I've got some comments in the chat though. I do like to catch up. I don't want to, because really we're here for each other. At the end of the day, we're here for each other, and to get big close-ups of my hairy arms and disgusting stubby fingers with paint all over them. That's why we're here. We've got Dijon says, "Hi Craig, hope you're well." I am well, thank you very much. Johan Arvid Hilmanen says, "Hola, hola." Jesus David Martinez Silveira says, "Hola muchachos." My goodness. Oh, we've got John Strand of the famous Stranded Customs is here. Hello John, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I hope you're not skiving off doing your chores, your husband duties around the house. Get them done. Katie will not be happy. Dijon says, "Cheers for your advice on the Silent Hill mannequin spider. I appreciate it a lot." Dijon MK is actually he's making a custom figure of the mannequin spider from Silent Hill. It's a big mass of mannequin parts with kind of like tissue material threaded through in between the limbs, and there's a wires holding it together, and the front face splits apart, and there's a disgusting mouth inside it. It looks like a really fun custom project to work on, particularly because it's a bit of a mess, so you don't have to get it right. You don't have to make it beautiful. It's one of those fun custom projects where you can almost Frankenstein lots of bits together and just go wild with it. So I'll be interested to see how that turns out. Hope it works. Dijon MK said, "Mecha winged Barney." Is that what you're calling Ridley? Mecha winged Barney. Swift Zoe says, incredible work, man. Inspired me to start customizing when I was a kid, and now he's 47. And that gives you an idea of how long I've been doing this. Thanks, Swift Zoe. That's the most... that's the thing I like to hear the most, is when people saw that other people were making customs, so they wanted to give it a go. Rather than, I want to own your work, I want to see your work. Like, that's flattering, but I want to make my own work is the best thing, and that's what I want to see people do. We've got the Toy Migos. Hey. Toy Migos, they very kindly invited me onto their, I say they invited me, they said during a couple of the podcasts, we should get Craig on here. So I slid right into their DMs and said, so where's this invite? And there I turned up on the stream and I had a wonderful time. And they've shared the stream in their Instagram story. So thank you very much for doing that. Hugely appreciated. I look forward to being back. I had to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning to go on the Toy Migos. I believe they're in California. Someplace over there. West. I don't know. Tom Green is here. Hey Tom, how you doing? You working on any Gundam stuff today? Tom is heavily into the Gundam customs recently, because Gundam things are so much fun to build, and I can probably show you. I know everyone wants to see Mother Brain, but hey, this is my channel, so you can eat my ass while I do what I want. I got this is a Flame Toys Starscream model kit. It doesn't transform, of course, but transforming is maybe the least interesting part of any Transformer toy. I have never liked any of the Starscream figures they've ever made, so I got this Flame Toys model kit because I thought it was like it's very stylized, but it looked like fun to build, and it looks quite. I like Starscream to be quite I don't know, like assassin-like he's very thin and sleek and all that, but his toys tend to be very blocky for some reason. I don't quite understand it, but this guy seemed to work, and so I before I assembled it, I airbrushed it and did all this stuff, and then dry brushed it once I made it, and yeah, I really like it. It's a lot of fun to pose. So yeah, so this is the kind of thing that Tom has been working on. He's been building a lot of the Transformers ones as well, and he did an Optimus Prime one that looked amazing, and he recently built a movie Bumblebee one, but it was tiny. Well, it still did an amazing job of it, but yeah, I'm kind of in love with this series and I want to get more, but I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, to be honest. I've done enough of that in my life. Joaquim Aventillado says that he is aware of Mother Brain from the Captain N cartoon. That was actually one of my first exposure to Mother Brain as well. Captain N was, of course, a Saturday morning Nintendo cartoon in which a kid was sucked into his NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, and lived in the game world, and Mother Brain was the main antagonist. She was the boss of the... Oh, there's Captain N himself. Hey, Fruity. Do you want to say hello to YouTube people? They're over here.
Hello?
Okay, there we go.
So what's that?
This is... I'm not going to explain my setup to you while I'm live on.
Okay.
But this is where the people are chatting.
Okay.
And that's where I watch what they can see.
Yeah, chatters be nice.
Chatters be nice. You've been told. Chatters be nice. And he brought me a cup of tea, isn't that lovely? the real star of the Mario series there. Mother Brain was the main antagonist in Captain N, so in my kid head, she's a big deal. She's like the boss of all the Nintendo bad guys. She was ridiculous in that. It was a comedy kids show. So yeah. Anyway, why don't we take a look at Mother Brain? John Strand says, I love Matt so much. You're too late, John. Go love someone else. He's mine and no one can have him. Right, I'm not too sure how is best to... Mother Brain is quite large. Like, if I bring it... This is... How am I going to show this off? You haven't thought this through, Craig, have you? I could move the camera. I could. But that would mean me doing something. I don't want to knock everything over. Oh, don't get motion sick. Don't get lost in my beard either. Jeez. Right. Oh no, infinite mirror. Zoom out. There we go. Okay, so this is Mother Brain at the moment. I have wanted to do a Mother Brain really on the scale of Nintendo villains that I wanted to make. Mother Brain was at the top. She's above Ganon, she's above Bowser. I wanted to make Mother Brain, but I was never too sure how. I always thought I could get like a jar, something, and I could sculpt a monster and put it inside it. I thought I could do that. That's fine. But Mother Brain is a combination of organic and technological pieces. Angles, you know, things like the base and the lid here, for want of a better word. How do I do those? And so I was never able to really have the skill set or the resource to do it until 3D printing became sort of consumer grade. So yeah, that's just how it's been. It's been sort of frozen in time until I got those sort of skills and a 3D printer and learned a bit more. And this has been like a huge learning thing for me. And I really, that's how I like to, I don't like to learn to prepare to do things. I like to learn by doing them. So I don't want to like study and then nail Mother Brain. I'd rather just start making Mother Brain and learn as I go along. So it's been, the things I did at the beginning, I could do better now, but hey, this is where we're at. So how can I break this down for you? So there's this bit on the top. It's really to hide a battery pack that's going to be in it. There's one in the base as well. Don't know what's best. I kind of like the blue, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what works best with her colors once we get her painted, and obviously much further on than what you see here. So yeah, there's one in the base, and I want to have one in the top as well. These are I just ordered them off of Amazon, I think. They're just they're like these battery packs come with this strip of LED lights, and you just plug one into the other. And you cut it to size. So that's like, I was thinking I could thread lights all the way through it and do all this and that, but you know, working with LEDs it's a bit of a pain, to be honest. So this seemed like the easiest way to do that. And that's, so I ran out of grey resin, so I just used the red transparent one. It's not going to be red transparent, so it's going to sit on top. The lights are going to go through inside the case and light it from the top and the bottom. So that's that at the moment. So that's the top. Now the ring that goes round is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 separate pieces that I printed separately. That was another thing that was very challenging with this, is that my resin, I'll get the plate. I use an Elegoo Mars 3D printer. And this is all the space that I have. I can print something that is this wide and this long. The height, I can get quite a lot of height on it, so I can't print out a circular thing, you know, because that's not going to fit. So I have to print all these sections individually and then assemble them into a circle around this. So I had to I bought this separately. This the case you see here, it's just an acrylic jewelry display case or something. I bought that, and then, you know, it's however tall by however wide with whatever radius, and then I started 3D modeling this around it. So yeah, I do need to sand some of it down. Well, I'm kind of like, do I need to? Can I get away with not doing it? Can't be bothered doing it. And then the white that you see here is just a sheet of styrene plastic. So yeah, that's just a cap that sits on the top. Okay, so there's this is the case as it came, and again I 3D printed the sort of vent thing that goes on the top. I just 3D modeled, you know, this is just me, I don't know, it's so boring to do geometric things, but I just was like, okay, I'll just do this repeating shape, I'll just 3D model that, and then I'll print it like I printed it standing this way on my, you know, so it could fit on there. It's however wide by however long, and then I printed these separately just to give it a bit more interest. And you'll see at the moment a lot of it is held together just by toothpicks sticking through stuff. So that's how that's holding on there. When it comes to the final thing, I will glue that on, but in the meantime, just a few drilled holes and toothpicks have enough sort of friction just to hold it in place while I'm getting everything together. So yeah, and really once I'm wanting to have some like tubes come from the top and go into the brain and come from the bottom, just to like pull it all together, because it's still very much the top, the middle, the bottom. I want it all to pull together. So yeah, that's what's happening here. Then we've got the brain by itself. Now this is, well, I can see people are asking about the eye in the chat. I'll talk about the eye in a moment. I'll just take it off. Now the brain itself, geez, this so I sculpted a brain. I used an app called Nomad, and my iPad and Apple Pencil. I just sculpted that. So I sculpted the brain there, and then the problem is, how do you print it? Because this is all you've got. There's no way that is going to print out there. So you can see, like, you can see all this sort of lines where the putty is. So you can see I've actually, you know, I printed it out in 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 sections. There's another piece here, which is there's the back of the jaw as well, which goes in there somehow. Yeah, the back of the jaw goes in there as well, but I've taken it off so that I can paint it. I'll assemble that later. So I printed out in like 8 separate pieces, and then, well, I sculpted the whole thing and then I divided it up using a program called Mesh Mixer, and you do a plane cut and you cut it into these sections and then you reassemble it, and that was a total pain. And during the process, like, my printer, there were problems, it wasn't printing all of it, it was, you know, bits of it were missing. I have to hollow it out, and you'll see there's holes in the bottom and these sort of things. That's to help the resin, because I don't want to print it solid. That was another thing. If I printed this solid, it would be really heavy. So it's hollow, and if you print a hollow thing, you 3D print it, all the resin gets trapped inside it, and you just end up with this hard shell with lots of uncured resin. So you have to put holes in it so that it all drains out. That was a whole other thing I didn't understand. I still don't particularly understand how best to print stuff. But we're learning as we go along. So when I reassemble it, it doesn't quite 100% come together, because you're working with chemicals and exposing it to UV, and it's shrinking and not shrinking, or warping under heat, or these sort of things, warping under its own weight as it cures and is in the 3D printer. So things don't always come together 100% for me quite yet. So that's why, you know, I would love to just be able to go, oh, I can just jigsaw it together, but I tried and there were gaps. So that's why I've gone in and I've been filling them in with putty and whatever. And I want to, Mother Brain has some like, almost like stalagmite bone extrusions coming through the brain, so I need to add them in as well. Yeah, so there's still work to do on Mother Brain. And like I said, I want to put in some like tubes coming out of like the mouth or whatever. Oh my goodness, I have a super chat for $20. Are you joking? I need to refund you. That's insane. From the lovely Pandolos Muertos. He says, this looks so amazing. I'm so stoked that you got into 3D printing. I think the possibilities with what you will make will be endless, but I want to ask, will you be making more custom head sculpts and other items for sale more often? I want to. I like endless thank yous to you. I mean, you are an endless and tireless supporter of what I do, so I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. As I say, it's completely unnecessary, but hey, I love you for it. Will I be making more custom head sculpts and other items for sale more often? I would really like to, and I often have that feeling. I'm like, just go for it, just do it, and then I try, and it does. They aren't to the level that I want people to have them, like, because but I do want to do that. Like I asked on Instagram, would anyone want to buy that head sculpt of me that I did, and people were like, sure, absolutely. So I'm wanting to do that. I have to, like, when I do a head sculpt, I'm happy that it doesn't fit perfectly on a neck peg. Like, I can do custom stuff with putty and hot glue and like super glue and make sure it's tight and it works. Well, if it doesn't work, I'm happy that way. But I want to make it just right for people if I'm going to sell it. Like, I want to be able to sell it to people and for them to put it on whatever figure I recommend they put it on, and without having to do all this customizing stuff to get it on there. Is this distracting? The screen in the background? So yeah, I do want to do that, and I've really been trying to move away from being so much of an action figure collector recently, and in fact just yesterday I just sent over £1,000 worth of my figures that I don't want. I sold them on eBay and I got rid of them. I probably could have got a lot more, but I just wanted rid of them. A lot of Marvel Legends stuff that I had duplicates of, or they were characters I was not interested in, Punishers, Daredevils, stuff like that. I have like, okay, I'll keep one Daredevil. I like Daredevil. I'll keep one Daredevil. I don't need an array of Daredevils. I don't need an array of Punishers. Stop buying them. So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to move away from collecting and do have more space and more time to do this kind of thing. And sometimes having this entire history of action figures behind me and in this room, everywhere I look, it's like a psychic ball and chain round my metaphorical ankle. It's useful when I want to make a custom. I can just dive in there and look for parts, but that's so rare that it's not worth lugging this around with me for the rest of my life. I love the things I have on display and the things in my drawers. But yeah, the collecting is not sustainable. It's not sustainable, and I think we have to go through these times. And I've just found that collecting has almost got in the way of my creativity. Dijon MK has given me a £1 super chat. Thank you. Of course, £1 is the equivalent of 20 US dollars, so that's hugely appreciated. Thank you. And Pardalis Mertos says I've not to refund him. Don't worry, I was never gonna. I was just acting like I was a nice person. But yeah, I do intend to. Sometimes I'm just spinning too many plates for my own good, and then I drop them all and I go and play a video game for 3 weeks. This one says it wouldn't let him do a penny. Bless your heart. Bless every one of you. You keep me here. So thank you. Thank you for everyone that's here and everyone who watches later, hits that thumbs up button. It really, really does help me. Like, as you know, I'm a moody bastard. And unless I'm receiving emphatic praise all the time, I'm like, nope, fuck the lot of you. Like, that's the way it rolls here. They don't appreciate me. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not showing them anything. You got double beard there. Can you tell I dyed my beard? I used Just for Men on my beard the other week, just for fun. I was like, oh, this won't work. And I was like, oh, fuck, it's worked. I don't have any grace anymore. I didn't think it would work, but it turned out it did. Hey, Kip the Clouds, good to have you with me. Right, Mother Brain. Ta-da! The eye. People have asked about the eye. Let me see what people were saying about the eye. Give me the eye. That's from Clash of the Titans, the Stygian Witches. Where's the eye from? Says Dijon MK. It must have been from a doll, says Vincent Canetti. They do have realistic eyes after all. The eye. This eye is made, the white part is made from Fimo. You know that crap? It's not crap. That crafting material that crafters use. It's that. It's just white Fimo. And the eye is, it is from a, it's not from a doll, it's from, I ordered these off Amazon. Only needed one, but hey, they don't sell one. So you just get these like doll eyes. I guess that's what they are. I did try and make my own. I did try and do my own, but these just turned out to be better. And I sort of cracked all the white plastic off it. I didn't do it with my hand. I used pliers. I'm trying to do it one-handed. I can't. I cracked all the white plastic off it and just got the little glass iris out, and then painted that with some red. I think I used there's a pink Is there an iris that's pink? Trust me, there's a pink iris. There's a pink iris. And I just started with that and hit it with some clear red. And I'm going to like use clear red and do more bloodshot detail on it. But I did knock the camera with my drawer. I can't remember what they're called now. I looked up a bunch of, I got these little glass like convex glass beads and tried to do my own sort of eye things, and they're not bad. They're not great. So I just painted on the back. I painted on the back of them. I painted a black bit and then put red. So, but I was up in the air, like, which is better, and I just think the round, just the detail in these mass-produced eyes was better than what I could achieve trying it myself. So I just stuck with that, and I put that in the middle there, and then popped it on. So that's what the eye is. And then we've got, so then the bit that's really like why I was holding off till I became better at 3D printing was like the base and all of this stuff, because this is something that is really difficult to do if you're a sculptor, to do geometric and machine parts. You'd have to like make it out of styrene, cut shapes, make nets and all this sort of stuff. Very difficult. So yeah, that's what, so essentially I just sculpted one. I sculpted essentially one of these bits here, and then just like duplicated it round and round, and I used it on the, it's on the top, it's in here, it's one of these things. So I've used it over and over again to create like a spinal column thing in the back of the brain. So yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Mother Brain. That's where we're at with her. So there's still a lot to do. I know it kind of looks finished, but it really isn't. There's work to be done there. And I know people are like, I can't wait to see it painted. You know what? You will wait. Don't say that to me. don't pressure me. I don't want to mess up the paint. I don't even know, am I going for very realistic brain, or who was it that was saying, Dijon was saying, just the eye changes the sculpt entirely. Yeah, I mean that's it. Like the sculpt is just, I don't know what it's going to come out like. Is it going to be like a gross brain, or is it going to be kind of a cartoony brain, or like what line is it going to walk? Is it going to be dark? How is the light going to work with it? These sort of things. So I really don't know what it's going to look like when it comes out. So on one hand, I can't wait to see it painted either, but on the other hand, I have to do the painting, so I'm in no rush to get to that point. So that's certainly Mother Brain. That's where she's at. Like I say, she has another battery thing in the base that lights up. Oh, demo. Oh. Hi. Let me catch up as you all as you'll rave out to the Mother Brain Party here, I'll catch up on the chat. Dijon asks, when you get a chance, look at taxidermy eyes. You can get many styles, so it might be helpful in the future. I did look. But sometimes you're just like, oh, this is a whole can of worms, and I'm just not into it. I just want a fucking eye for a monster brain. Kirk Holland is here. Hello, Kirk. Good to have you here. He said, I went to get swiftly liquored up, and we've moved up to the candy cola. Whatever will I do with my own hunch? She says. Dijon says it's kind of Mars Attack-esque. It is. That's what they say, isn't it? Kirk is absolutely fucking steaming. There we go. What was someone was asking, are you going to make Samus next? No. How do I stop it? Just how do I make it? Oh Lord. Just pull the batteries out and make it stop. Oh, okay. Stop playing with the lights, Craig. Come on. I'm playing with my toys. Okay. Let's get her out the way. Out the way. Marbrain. I'll put her off to the side. Righty. And now I'm like customizing live. Craig Warrack just talking crap for 43 minutes, more like live. Pantelos Merta says, what music are you currently listening to? I'm digging a lot of The Weeknd, Vector 7 and Cigarettes After Sex. That means nothing to me. I famously have bad taste in music. I tend to listen to video game music. If you've ever seen me on Instagram with like music on in the background, that's kind of what I listen to. Whether I'm in the shower, whether I'm like having a workout, whether I'm doing the dishes, whether I'm choosing to listen to music in my free time, video game music. I'm really basic. I don't like new music. Don't like it. Don't like pop music and stuff. Spice Girls though, hey. Right, let me see what I can do. I think I'll try and do some of that light paint colour on Ridley. We'll see what that looks like. There we go. Now, there we go. It's as if nothing happened. Bruno Pachuca Osornio says, I didn't think of doll eyes. I've been looking for a good eye. I'm going through your process to make a Shumagorath. Good luck. Sounds difficult. JLJ says the fading light makes it look like they're pulsing. Yeah. Here. We're hoping that's what finally happens. Vince Canetti says, I usually listen to heavy metal. Prince is what Kirk Holland says. Pandelos Mertros recommends a band called Power Glove. No. Okay, I'll have a look. Ghost Jane says, hey Craig, I've been reading more comics lately and was wondering, is the Book of Doom by Ed Brubaker a good place to start reading Doctor Doom? Not really. I think a lot of people, they have it in their head because maybe they've seen comic book movies that an origin story is a good place to start reading something, and I think that's completely wrong. I think it's the wrong way to tell any superhero story is with an origin story. Probably Spider-Man is the only. I think it's much more interesting to see them in action and then to say, well, why are they doing this? And go back and see an origin story. So the Books of Doom is an origin story for Doctor Doom, and it has a twist at the end. It's a good story, interesting perspective on Doctor Doom. But so I would recommend it, but you could probably get a collection of like a trade paperback of like Fantastic Four Greatest Villains or something like that, and get some Doctor Doom stories in there. So you see what he just generally what he does. He just rocks up and does some assholey thing, or he's trying to do stuff, and the Fantastic Four stop him, and then go, oh, well, he seems basic. Let me go back and see what he's on. Oh, okay, now that stuff makes sense. Bruno Pachuca Osornio says, thanks, you pronounced my name very well. Thank you. Do my best. Craig McLaughlin says, are you going to tint the jar as well? I might do. We'll see what happens. Amazing work. After Metroid, what is going to be your next topic? It says Rain Crawler. I don't have any. I don't think that far ahead. Like, this takes all of my effort. I'm sorry. No, I won't go down that road. Every time when people say me that, like all I can ever think of, because I just have this negative, cynical side of me, it's like, come on, Craig, they're clearly bored. They want to see the next thing. Move on. You have to finish this. They're bored of it. So that's like, when you ask someone, what's next? I'm like, oh, fucking hell, are you bored? This is next. This is next. I know that's not your intention, but that's the thing that I unfortunately end up hearing in my head, which is my problem, not yours. Okay, let's see what happens when I use some of this Screamer. What's it called? Screamer Pink? No, Pink Horror. We're going to try and just spray on some Pink Horror onto Ridley. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Mother Brain far away, because I don't want to get pink paint all up the side of that clear glass jar. It's not glass, it's acrylic. Someone was asking in the chat, where did I get it? It was Sam Nassen Customs. Where did I get it? Something like acrylicplastics.co.uk or something. I don't know. Can't remember now. Anyway, you just search for like a clear acrylic cylinder and you'll find it. Internet, go for it. Dijon says, interesting project, Craig. What's now? Better question, what's now? There, I just spent 50 minutes talking about what's now. You think you don't want to, what's next? Like, it'd be like, well, maybe I'll make this. End of story. Like, that's... Right, let me see if I can get this to work. So I'm gonna... I obviously can't airbrush Citadel paint because it's too thick. So I put in a bit of my airbrush thinner. I put it a tiny bit into the airbrush first of all, just so that the paint doesn't disappear too far into the workings. And then I just use a brush, which is probably totally wrong. Oh. And just mix some in there. Right, let's see what that looks like. As you know, airbrush noise in the background. So I'm just seeing if it's coming through. Yes, it is. Right, now I really don't want a lot of this on. Let's put it on the very top. And you can't see anything, that was handy. Well done. So previously I really would have done this with an dry brush. I'm getting some splatter coming through, which tends to mean the airflow isn't high enough, I think. There we go. I probably still will go in and use my I will still go in and use my dry brush as well, because I really think I get a lot of good control with a hand paintbrush. But this is good for just applying an overall sort of highlight. Okay, where's his tail? Arms. Okay. There. Seems good enough. Right, let me clean this out. And I shall catch up with the chat. John MK says, I bought your exact compressor. I've yet to try it out though. My compressor is the Iwata Silverjet. For those who don't know, it's very small for compressors. I think it's small. It looks okay. It seems to be quite quiet. I haven't used any other compressor, so whether it is comparatively rubbish, I have no concept, but it seemed right for me and has done me fine for a good few years, so I'm happy with it. Thickinator, hello. Says, I'm from Scotland also. Great. And good to have you here. Which part? You don't have to tell me if you would rather not say, prefer not to say, as you would in a survey. Bruno Pachuca Osornio says, you're a creative inspiration, Craig. I stumbled onto your Bowser showcase, then your work on Crablante, and now watching Ridley. Got my first airbrush gun and other tools. See what I can do this year. Be interested to see what you can do, Bruno. Thank you for finding my work and then being interested enough to look for more. And then to get into it yourself. And then Dijon is immediately saying, what's next? For you, Bruno, what's next? Give him hell. Kaiju King says, are you going to make a Skeksis or Mystic from the Dark? Why would... Yes, I am. Absolutely. That's my next thing that I've been keeping secret from everyone, and you've spotted it. Of course, it's a Skeksis. Or an Ancient. Or Mystic, whatever they're called. Random. I don't have any plan to do either of those things. They already exist in the world as things, so it's not like, you know, there's no interpretation there, so I'm not really, it's not hugely interesting for me. But if you're asking, it sounds like you must be into it, so go for it yourself. Give it a shot. Okay, so I think I'm in general I'm quite happy with the colour on Ridley. I think it's working well. I do need to do the arms, but like I said, I do these by brush, and it's kind of, I have to focus a lot, so I prefer to not do those on camera, if that's okay with you guys. Bryce Minshew says, hey Craig, huge fan from day one, brother. Always planned on visiting Scotland for a real pub. Been a blast watching you make Ridley, and I can't wait to see what's next. So, well, thank you very much, and yeah, come to Scotland. There are plenty. There are pubs. There are much better pubs elsewhere. We don't have a monopoly on pubs. And if people came to Scotland, it wouldn't be one of the highlights. Let's go to a pub. Disgusting. Hives of villainy, too loud music, disgusting smells, and lukewarm food and drink. But hey, go for it. Dijon says, "Can we have a what's next counter in the corner of the screen?" Yeah, what's next? Can't wait to see. Can't wait to see what's next. What are my other ones? Dijon is making his own Morph figure. I take it that's Morph from the X-Men and not Morph from Tony Hart's Heartbeat on the BBC. Or the Morph TV show, of course. Pandalos Myrtle says, now that you have an airbrush, are the days of hand painting and dry brushing an entire figure in the past? Absolutely not. I don't really like airbrushing. It's a great tool and it has its uses, but I find that I can't get things to look the way I want when I just airbrush. So yeah. But I've had an airbrush for many. What was the very first thing? I think was Ganon the very first thing I airbrushed. I think it might have been. So I've had an airbrush for a long, long time. And I've never really understood how to use it, and I've never got any better. Vince Canetti says, I'm just watching your live stream while building some monster thing out of Lego. Is it my genitals? Okay, bye. That's the end of that one. Specifically the head. Oofed. Right, so what do I want to do next? How can I entertain you? What can I do? What have I got to do for Ridley? So I've got to do his wings, but we're doing that off camera. I have to do some detail, but I don't want to jump into that too soon. I think I'll stay on for another little while. I said I was going to do some stalagmite sort of protrusions from Mother Brain's head, so why don't I give that a shot? Ghost Chain says, hey Craig, I don't know if you're going to make Metroid, but there are many figure of them, so you don't have to. I don't know, save you some stress. I made an accessory for Ridley, which is the baby Metroid, in its tube, and then I threw it on the floor. So I've already done that. And I did look at the Amiibo version. So right. I kind of need reference. Oh, I've got my phone. It's in my anus. Hold on a second. Who would send me a message while I'm live streaming, like on Instagram? Give me. Don't you know what I'm doing? Aren't you paying attention? God. Mother Brain. Do I already have a bunch of photos of Mother Brain? I won't go into my photos app and just show you all in the. You all don't want to see what's in my. Maybe you do. I don't know. Why do I have pictures of Master Pandemonium? This is what y'all came here for, me looking at my phone. Watching TikTok. Right, I don't have any pictures of Mother Brain there. They're all on my iPad, which is here. So, Mother Brain. So that's a Super Metroid. So let's see. Oh, there's a good picture. Give me that picture. Stop messing with me. See the things that stick out the top of her head? That's not really the mother brain I'm going for. I'm doing my own thing. But okay, so I just put in a bunch of crap all over her head and go with it. Right, what do I need? I need toothpicks. What else do I need? Sculpting stuff. What else do I need? Super glue. What else do I need? I need a hero. I've been holding up for a hero. Jesus David Martinez Silveira says, did you see those new Joes? I don't know any of the story. I never owned any Joes when I was a kid, but I dropped Marvel Legends and I'm focusing only on them. Yep. I don't blame you. Yeah, I did I didn't watch the whatever it was stream. Hasbro on the Pulse stream. Joe June Friday, Friday, and what I don't fucking know. What I have to... No, I don't need to be careful. Just do it, Craig. Stop. Triple and 300 times overthinking things. Just do it. Hi, welcome to my psychosis. This bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some holes into the head. I'm going to stick some toothpicks in there, glue them in, and then I am going to get stuff all over my hands. It's disgusting. Then I'm going to sculpt over them to make thicker spike sort of things. Won't that be fun? Won't that? Oh, I've dropped it. Hi. But yeah, the G.I. Joe stuff, I really do like the G.I. Joe figures and work they're doing on that at the moment. I think it's great. I saw what did I see? A picture of Roadblock. I've never had a huge connection to Roadblock. I never owned a figure, that kind of thing. But they showed Barbecue. He was actually the first G.I. Joe figure I ever got. So I'm excited for Barbecue. Also, hello, Fireman. And who else? They showed Snake Eyes with Timber the Wolf. Yeah. So I'm excited to get Timber. I wish Snake Eyes had come with him in the first place, but hey. There we go. Right, I would like... How long are these going to be? Right, I'm going to drill a hole and then I'm going to figure that out. Here's a hole. They probably shouldn't be that long, should they? Right, I need to figure out how long these should be. So, to do that, I need to do a bit of assembling, just to get a rough idea. Stick that back in there. So yeah, the G.I. Joe stuff looked good. Excited for it. I'm always excited to see what they reveal next, because I always think they do it well. Like, I've never seen them like reveal a character and just to be like, yeah, it's just this guy with a different head. Marvel Legends style, you know. This body you've owned 100 times. Here's another one. We've put a different head on it, and we've stuck on some stuff from another figure you own. Great. Right, so just trying to eyeball where I can. So on the top of the head, probably not so much out there. So okay, so I'm just kind of working out how tall these can be. As you know, I'm just trying to keep my narrative going so you don't have to suffer silence, you have to suffer me instead. Oh. Da 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 da. It's too long, so we'll do that. Okay. That looks like a good length to me. Kirk Holland says, make the baby. I've made the baby, Kirk. Were you not paying attention? No, because you're drunk. God, drunk people are the best. Sean Souza says, what other plans are you fixing to do in the future and not with making action figures like vacations or something? There we go. Okay. Oh, you were this close, Sean. You were this close. I mean, what can we plan for at the moment? Like, we're still in COVID. I know people are going a bit crazy. Like, it's over now, back to life. It's like, it's not. People are still getting infected, getting really sick from it, and dying. So can you calm the fuck down, please? It's like, we vaccinated all the older people. Yeah, but people still get long COVID, and it's like life destroying at the moment. So can you just behave until everyone? I know you want to go to sports games. I know you want to go shopping with your friends. You want to go out to restaurants. It's understandable, totally understandable. But we didn't come this far and put up with this so that you could shit yourself at the finish line. Calm down. You're not going to Portugal. Stop it. And you should be told this by a fat bald man with a beard and dyed fingertips from painting action figures too much. When things calm down and we feel confident, we will go to the United States. We really want. Last May, we had booked a holiday to Disney World in Florida because then we could see my husband's family and my family as well. And we missed out on that. So we really felt, cheated by that. So we want to do that again. Get that back on the go. But we'd also like to just, I don't know, like we just want to go. It'd be nice just to go somewhere different. It's not here. We've been here, and for a long time. And I'm a homebody. Like, I don't enjoy social situations or going places all that much. But my husband does, and I'm happy when he is happy. So, and I'm not happy when he is not happy, and he's felt very, trapped and limited at times. So we want to get out there and enjoy our lives again. But we don't have any plans. Like I say, it would be foolish to make plans at the moment, I think. But hey, if you think differently, and if going places and doing things helps you cope with the world as it is, go for it. Don't hold yourself back on my account. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put these sort of spikes at these points where the sort of, see, the fold of the brain goes down and then goes down and then changes direction. Like I want one in there, almost as if it's circled round it, because it looks good. Let me see. Jared Mendoza says, I've been working on Nosferatu Zod in apostle form using a 16-inch Rampage George as the base. That Mother Brain is going to be amazing. Metroid NES was the first game I ever beat. So many mishaps. I've never beat. I've barely played the original NES Metroid. I really didn't touch Metroid until Super Metroid, which blew my mind with the atmosphere and everything. I think I want one coming forward out here. Oh. That's going to fall in there, so I better super glue that a bit. Drilled that hole a little too wide. I don't know what a Nosferatu Zod is. I know what Nosferatu, I know, Zod, I know. I don't know what, when you put those two together, I'm not too sure what that is. Craig McLaughlin says, I've been watching for nearly a decade. I was really drawn in by the second Doctor Strange you did. Loved the use of magnets and the book effects. Yeah, he's one of my favourite customs. I know I try not to think about my customs in terms of what's my favourite one and all that. But he has sort of stood the test of time in my head. Like, I'm still like, oh, he was, yeah, I did well there. I'm happy with that. And yeah, thank you for also knowing he was the second Doctor Strange I did. The first one being that trench coat thing, which, you know, I was obviously a fan of at the time, but now I'm like, you know, it's not something I would put on my shelf. Do I like the placement of that one? I do, but I'll have to do some middle one. I'm going to put one coming out here. John Strand says, I had Lady J in hand today. Those are some amazing figures, but just not for me. Yeah, that's a fine approach to take. But you know, you buy the Power Rangers figures, so can we trust your taste? Power Rangers figures are completely good, so don't worry about it. And just shaking your cheek. I just, with the G.I. Joe figures, I just feel, like, when I get the figure, I'm never like, oh, they could have done this more. Like, I feel like they give us so much with each figure. I'm like, yeah, this is good bang for your buck, and it's not lazy. It's not like, you know, in Marvel Legends where they're like, oh, here's bang for your buck. It's some hands we also have, and it's some effects that you've had before. Maybe this will make people who don't want it buy it. Throw it, put it in the package, put it in the package. It's not that. Okay, right, we won't go overboard with this. I'll put in one round the back so it doesn't. No, I won't. You know what? Fuck it. No, I won't. I'm gonna be a rebel, and I'm not gonna put one round the back. Take that, Bainbridge scholars. Name that movie. Dijon MK says, this is your brain, and this is your brain when you ram a cocktail stick through it. Yep. That's the sign that you've drilled too far when it goes. And the hole's too big and you have to glue it instead. Sean Souza keeps asking me the same question over and over about whether I'm going on vacations. I'm not ignoring you, Sean. It's just someone asked that earlier and I've answered that already. But Sean likes to do lots of comments, like he did on my Nova video, started asking me about Kinky Rule or that. Comment. So I get that's your thing. Okay. More toothpicks. More. By Alexander. Kirk Collins says Nosferatu Zod is a monster from Berserk. Thank you. Brandon Lewis says, my favourite of your customs is your Bowser custom. My second would be your werewolf. Thank you. Dijon correctly named that film as being The Mummy. Take that, Bainbridge scholars. Says Evie. Is that her name? I know what she says, but I can't tell you the character name. Oh God, it's got John Hannah in it. What an annoying guy. Project Piper Customs is here. I'm doing well, thank you. I have been busy. I've been on here for almost an hour and a half. And finally got round to doing something. I talked for like half of that time. But it was all critical to understanding the artistic process. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Kirk has been having a lot to drink. He now says that he can see my package. I guess you can. Hello. And I'm wearing shorts today. There we go. Tis rare, but I don't mean like underwear shorts, but short shorts. Right, where else will I put one? Oh, there's a deep spot. Let's go in there. Let's go deep. Right. Okay. So my next step, it's a bird, a stock. Manifest. There we go. Right. Oh, I like that one actually. That's a nice pattern. I wonder if I can copy it on this side. Let's see. So yeah, like I said, I was going to put these in and then I'm going to just sculpt over them what I've essentially done here is make this very painful to hold. So Brandon Lewis says, your Bowser custom is what got me watching your videos. I just thought it was absolutely amazing. I really like how you gave him white eyes. I think that really adds to him being terrifying. Thank you. There was a lot of back and forth in my sketch of him that I did. He didn't have white eyes. Where did I put my notebooks? Anyway, somewhere. Whatever. Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth in my head. Should I give him white eyes? Should I do his irises and pupils? But part of it was, I mean, I gave Ganon white eyes as well. So part of it was their companion pieces, so they go like that. But also part of it was his eye line. Because he's so big, when you put eyes in a figure, it obviously tells you where they're looking. And with a really big figure, you know, when you do ACB or that, you have to pose the head. So, you know, eye lines have to meet and they have to be looking at certain things. They can't just be looking off. But if you do white eyes, you can't tell where he's looking. So he could be looking at something straight across. So you don't have to really worry too much if you put him in a scene or something like that. Not that I'm not doing figure photography with him, but that's just a thought I have. When you have a really big figure, if you can blank out their eyes, then go for it, because it really helps with not making them look off into the distance, especially if they can't get a lot of range in their head, although Bowser has like a double barbell joint, so he's got a lot of range in his head. But just that thinking, like knowing, I know action figures, so I know what to do. But I've got a weird cramp in my right arm. What is that? Oh, drop dead. Dropping Dead live. Remember that time Craig Warrack had a stroke live on YouTube? Those were good times, huh? Righty, I'll do one more. I think I'll put it back here. Okay. Okay, so I went in and I've added the spikes all over her. Whatever. Hey, if it identifies as she, then who am I to argue? I don't think, apart from Captain N, I've not heard Mother Brain say much. Repeat DC says, I painted my TMNT NECA figures eyes white for the same reason. Good. Brandon Lewis says, I do like Ganon, the Ganon figure as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I'm going to head off just now. I've been on for an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm happy to be back, and thank you for putting up with this while I explained what's going on with MB here and Ridley, of course. They're coming along. They're getting there. Long roads filled with being moody and not feeling like it, but there we have her. Yeah, but thank you for joining me. If you haven't, please do hit the hit the like button. It looks like I've got 39 at the moment, so that's amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. And I expect you're already subscribed, but if you haven't, please do. It does encourage me to keep going. I have 23.7 thousand subscribers at the moment. Wouldn't it be great if I could get to 25? My subscriber count only tends to go up when I finish a custom though. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next time, hopefully next Saturday at 3 p.m. my time, whatever arsehole o'clock is round your way. And until then, just look after yourselves, take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and remember to pour on the power. Bye. Click, click, end stream.